Hey, Shalom, brothers. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all you brothers out there that are fighting and that are doing the work. And this is an impromptu video. I'm actually on the road to a destination. You know, just pondering on things. And I just wanted to do this before the Spirit left me. Because, you know, a lot of times you got to catch the spark while it's there. So what I want to speak about is quick video about being idle and about getting sucked back into the world. All right. So, you know, what you got to do, man, after a certain, the scriptures talking about being under tutors, then becoming of age in this truth. Now, you know, just like when you have parents in the world, your parents are pretty much, even in this world, you have, you know, they call you a minor if you're under a certain age. And if you commit a crime or you go off by this man's so-called law book and his statutes, you may be classified as a minor, and the judgment is not too harsh on you. A lot of times, if you still are under your parents' roof, the judgment will actually fall on your parents. You know, you may break somebody's window or whatever, and your parents got to pay for the damages, you know. Your parents may scold you, but it's on them because you're still living under the roof and they're still responsible for you. Now, when you become a certain age, and I'm using this world as an example so that you can understand where I'm coming from, my point, when you become a certain age, in his world, different states is different, right? Usually it's 18, okay, or 16, and then you're classified an adult, right? Now, when you commit a crime according to this world, you get judged as an adult. Now it's on you, and your parents are not responsible anymore because, you know, they raised you with their you know, they instilled their morals or whatever in you, and you come to an age where it's on you. So it's the same thing in this truth. You know, you're under parents, which are your teachers, your apostles, your elders in this truth. And the scriptures speak about that in Isaiah the 28th chapter, where, you know, you're weaned from the breast, weaned from the milk, and that's, you know, when you first come into truth, the basics. And that's when you're still basically sucking on the titties. That's when you're learning from the apostles, you're learning from the elders. Most of the times you don't even really understand what you might be out there speaking. You don't really understand what you're speaking about. You're just a parrot. You know, you don't have a deep understanding of the scriptures yet. You see? And at that point, you know, there comes a point where the Most High won't be too hard on you because you're still a child in this truth. But there comes a point where you become a man in this truth and you start understanding the scriptures for what they are, you know, and you understand it to a point that when you go off, you're going off maliciously on purpose. When it comes to that point, it's on you. So what you have to do is you have to check yourself. You have to run a diagnostic, you know, on yourself to see whether you're doing the right thing or not. Is your mind in the same place? Is your heart in the same place? Okay. Now I don't have my my sword with me because, as I said, I was just driving and you know, the Spirit just hit me, and I want to speak on this before the Spirit leaves me. So what you could do is you could read Galatians, the 4th chapter, and it talks about being sucked back into the elements of this world. And the way that happens is, like I said, you become an adult. And in this truth, or you get to an age in this truth to where you're expected to, you have responsibilities, meaning, you know, you're expected to teach. There comes a certain point where you're responsible for spreading his word, teaching his word, and nobody's got to be on your back. The apostles or the elders don't have to tell you, you know, whatever way to make videos, to go out there and speak, whatever. The main thing is to spread his word, because there's a lot of people out there that haven't heard this word. You know, there's still people out there that haven't heard this word. There's people out there that they're not on social media sites, you know. There are a lot of people out there, they don't get involved with Facebook, they don't get involved with YouTube. They stay off of social media because there's just people like that. They don't deal with social media. Or, you know, religion is a further thing for the mind. So when they Google or they type something in YouTube, do a YouTube search, they don't search anything about religion or anything like that. So or conspiracies, they're just totally gone. So they don't come across our videos or Israelites or whatever. So you know, there's people out there that haven't heard the word. So there's still a lot of teaching to do. Okay, the scriptures talk about how the laborers are few, but the harvest is plenty. So there's a lot of work to do. So it's not like you can ever say that you did enough or I did my work for the day. It's not like a 9 to 5 where 5 o'clock you punch out and you're done. You know, you got to constantly meditate, and that's where the idleness comes in. You know, you read Proverbs 19 and 15, and it talks about being slothful. You know, being slothful and being idle. So when you become slothful, that allows them demons to start attacking you. You see, because what it means being slothful, you got to put in the right context. We're talking about being slothful in His truth. You know, I'm not talking about working your ass off to make it in this world. You know, and you know, if you have plans or a little hustle, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to do what you got to do to survive, to get a little money. You might have a family, you might have kids to feed. You know what I'm saying? You might have a woman, she lost her job, and you got to support yourself and her. So you're thinking of ways to make extra cash. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm not talking about slothfulness like that. I'm talking about when those things happen or different things happen in the world, you totally forget that you have work to do in the truth, and you become idle as far as doing the work in the truth, So you start thinking about other shit, and your mind gets pulled away from the truth, because how does Esau spread his witchcraft how does Esau spread his witchcraft? He uses TV, he uses magazines, he uses media, because media will change the way you think, right? What's in front of your face. So if you are totally idle concerning this truth, you're not watching videos, you should have, everybody's got a cell phone. On your cell phone, you have a YouTube application. Make sure you're signed in. Sign in so that, and have, subscribe to apostles, elders, different brothers channels. So when you're out there, you get notifications on your phone, new video, new video, new video. And it keeps your mind, it keeps your mind pointed in the right direction. When you're home, read the scriptures. Take some time out to read the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Don't be sitting at home playing video games all day, or watching reality TV and all that shit, and your mind starts drifting away from the scripture. You start forgetting about the Most High. You see? That's why the scripture's talking about checking yourself. And when it comes to that point, that's when the Lord gets fed up. And, the scripture's talking about removing the candlestick or being lukewarm. That's what it's talking about. You start drifting away. So when it speaks about in Galatians, the 4th chapter, when it talks about being entangled or trapped back in these elements, that's talking about the world that the Most High pulled you out of when you came in His truth, which was entangled your mind, So when you become idle and you stop doing the things you were doing when you're on fire, then guess what? The demons, they start working on your mind, and they start slowly but surely. And I spoke about this a few times, man. You got something called frog soup. And if you, which is an abomination, but if you check out the way what frog soup is when them demons out there, you got demons that eat frogs, you got Jake that eat frogs, all types of shit. The way they cook a frog is they boil it, but they can't take the boiling water and throw the frog in there, because guess what? The frog's gonna be like, oh shit, I'm in hot water, it's gonna jump out. Okay? So what they do is they put the frog in water and they turn the heat up slowly. Okay? And by the time the frog realizes it's getting cooked and boiled, it's way too late. You see? So that's how them demons work on your mind. Okay? Them demons, they treat you like frog soup. They start slow and they turn the heat up. And it might be through your job, might be through your woman, okay? Might be through your child, your children. There's numerous fucking ways, man, in this world. You know how they say there's 6 million ways to die, choose one? Man, there's 6 million ways that them demons can get at you. They have options, all right? Them demons got options in this world because this world, America, is powered by demons, okay? And they'll turn the heat up on you real slow. And before you know it, you're out of there, you know? That's when you start becoming lukewarm and the Most High spits you out his mouth. So you don't want to get to that point. So what you got to do is you got to examine yourself. As the scriptures say, examine yourself constantly, you see? And I'm making this video because I'm examining myself. You see, I'm running a diagnostic, you know? So that, you know, that's where you got to be. I got to run diagnostics on yourself. Make sure your heart is in the right place, meaning your mind is in these scriptures, you see? Just like on a computer, you run a diagnostic on a computer, or you have an antivirus, okay? And you have tools on your computer to check your hard drive, check your memory, and they monitor your computer every minute, and if it catches something is off, it'll notify you, and then you got to fix it, you see? So it's good, brothers, surround yourself, you know, read the scriptures, don't be idle, surround yourself in the scriptures, watch videos, get the notifications on your phone, you see? And what sparked my mind is one of the elders, their notification popped up on my phone. And I was like, it pumped me up. I was like, damn, this brother's getting busy. So it sparked me. So I started thinking about myself, you know, and it sparked me to make a video. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, the scriptures also talk about being amongst the brotherhood. You know, you got to be amongst the brotherhood also. You know? So, brothers, read Galatians, the 4th chapter. Read Proverbs 19 to 15. Those are the main points. Read the scriptures about being lukewarm in the book of Revelation. Examine thyself. You know, you brothers know how to use a concordance. And like I said, man, all of you brothers that watch these videos and pay attention to them, you know, most of your brothers that are serious, yeah, so take heed. We're living in like heavy times right now. Shit is gonna break out every moment, any moment. You know, read the book of Isaiah. I believe it's the 1st chapter, maybe the 3rd chapter, where it speaks about how the Most High is gonna drop on Israel like a swelling wall.